This heart belongs again to darkness. All worlds begin in darkness, and also end. The heart is no different. Darkness sprouts within it. It grows, consumes it. Such is its nature. In the end, every heart returns to the darkness whence it came.
The big bad guy in the Kingdom Hearts series, Master Xehanort. The main villain of the Dark Seeker Saga, the man who has negatively affected many in the Kingdom Hearts universe. Some might know him as Ansem Seeker of Darkness, or Xehanort, or first leader of Organization 13, the nobody Xemnas. You might even be familiar with his younger self, who was called Young Xehanort. Though the version of this man who put this all together is Master Xehanort, the old man, one of my favorite video game villains, definitely, and he met his end in Kingdom Hearts 3, which was the finale of the Dark Seeker Saga. Though I have a feeling, although Xehanort met his demise, that this won't be the last we see of him. Well, maybe it is for Ansem, Xemnas, and Master Xehanort, though for young Xehanort, I'm curious as to what role he might play in the upcoming arc, because it doesn't seem like his involvement is completely done yet. We already see him in Kingdom Hearts 3 in a cutscene involving the Master of Masters, what is presumed to be him, doing what many believe based on research to be young Xehanort's Mark of Mastery exam. Key wording here making us believe this is the usage of the word World Tour in the ReMIND trailer, while the secret reports mention something along those lines. In Kingdom Hearts 3, while we got minor insight to Master Xehanort, we didn't get the full backstory, which I questioned at first, but considering how old Xehanort is and the direction the Kingdom Hearts series is going, it's pretty likely that Xehanort's past has a lot more to do with the Master's intentions rather than his own. As odd as that may sound at the moment, though just hear me out. Xehanort grew up on Destiny Islands, although he was raised in the world we know now as Scala at Kylum. He was trained there, which is the world that comes after Daybreak Town's calamity, and it's safe to assume Xehanort and Ericus's master was wielding the Goat of Atonement Keyblade as he was training them, which we know that Keyblade is passed down to one of the 5 Union leaders during the calamity in Daybreak Town as they go to the other world line, which has me curious as to what or who that person is, though that's for another video. With all this info, when you think about it, Xehanort is right in the middle of this great mission our Lushu has been on for who knows how long. He's been a pivotal part in moving history forward, and the past is very important at the moment for Sora and friends to prepare for the future, I feel like. So I feel like it's almost inevitable that we'll eventually have to learn about what Xehanort and Ericus were doing. Especially finding out about how Ericus in the secret reports is a blue blood, a descendant of one of the foretellers, or Union leaders. We know a lot about Xehanort in his old man years. Yes, that counts Xehanort, Xemnas, and Ansem, though we know nothing about the lighthearted boy who said he'd always be there to protect Ericus, but was the driving force in what led him to being struck down and taking refuge in Terra's heart. How did he end up becoming Master Xehanort, this villain of darkness? The first being in years to summon Kingdom Hearts and the Keyblade that we know of. We need some closure on these questions, and I think Nomura feels the exact same way. Actually, according to the Kingdom Hearts 3 Ultimania, the series director said that he had plans to have a game focusing on these years involving Xehanort, but shelved the idea for now. I'm pretty confident those ideas won't stay shelved forever, because it doesn't make sense if they do stay shelved. We're definitely going to be seeing glimpses of this in ReMIND if the trailers are anything to go off of. I want to experience more of Xehanort's come up. I don't need to play as him necessarily, but I just want to hear his story. I think his full story will in fact be told in the future even. I mean, that line Xehanort says in that ReMIND trailer has me questioning some things when he says, "I realize just how necessary I am." It gives me this vibe that maybe he was aware he was being used this whole time, that he was just supposed to progress history. And the fact that the Master is even in contact with young Xehanort, one logically to me that sounds a little weird, because from what we know right now, the master disappeared for a long time, and then we see him in a cutscene with young Xehanort, not the young Xehanort with the yellow eyes who was possessed by old man Xehanort, I guess you can say, or the one who has already decided he's going to be siding with darkness, but the young Xehanort with the silver eyes who was on his Mark of Mastery exam, who hasn't necessarily been tainted by darkness yet, or at least not fully. He definitely showed signs of it in that chess game. I believe Xehanorts Role in the next saga could be one of many different things, if not all of them, though there is one thing I am certain of and don't want to happen: for him to be forgotten. A villain like Xehanort needs to have a sheer presence and effect on every one of the Guardians of Light. I mean, he was affecting people for like 10 plus years. First it being the Birth by Sleep trio that we know of, at least. Sora and friends, he was the pivotal plot point in Sora leaving Destiny Islands, him and Riku. He straight up possessed Riku. He brought about Ansem Seeker of Darkness, messed with all of Ansem and his apprentices. He affected a whole slew of people in Organization 13. I'm thinking Xehanort should have a sort of presence similar to like a Pain in Naruto or a Stain in My Hero Academia. And if you don't understand my anime references, then I don't know. I just watch the shows, I guess. Learning about Xehanort's past could help us better understand the Master's motives and could also help pave the way to an even brighter future. The Guardians are chilling right now, but I'm sure that won't last very long. When you really think about it, we don't know anything really about Xehanort's past, like at all. Like, we have like little tiny pieces that help us connect the timeline of Kingdom Hearts, but there's this big gap of like time that we don't know anything about, and that is all the stuff before Birth by Sleep and in between like Daybreak Town, and that area we know is Scarlet Kylam, but outside of the name of the world itself, we don't know what happens there, we don't know how it happens, we don't know what's progressed in that timeline. And I really want to know, because that's a big chunk of Xehanort's history. That's all where Xehanort's history is, and Ericus's, and this big Keyblade legacy thing. Once a seat of power for all Keyblade wielders, like what does that even mean? So I'm just really curious as to what that amounts to. And Xehanort is smack dead in the middle of all of that, and that's why I'm so interested. People right now are trying to decode the Scarlet Kylam text, actually. BioRoxas has showcased a little bit of that on his YouTube channel, shout out to him. And I know there's a whole Discord server that's just dedicated to trying to decipher the Scarlet Kylam text and language, and they're working really hard at it, and they're making some decent progress with it. But stuff like that just goes to show you how interested people are in this world, and I think Nomura is very interested in it as well. I feel like that might be a big reason why he made Scarlet Kylam the way it was, because it was supposed to be a teaser for a future Kingdom Hearts game, because I can imagine that you can't cover too much of what Scarlet Kylam is and what it means, what it's supposed to be there for, without going too far into Xehanort's backstory. Though I do wish they gave us a little teaser of what like that could have been. They didn't have to give us the full thing, because I'm sure that's a lot of information, like a full game's worth, but just a little teaser would have been nice in case they didn't have to make Scarlet Kylam like take 2 steps and you're in a boss battle. But hey, we already made a video about that. We've rambled about that enough. Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is the most interesting it's really ever been, and I know that directly what comes after Daybreak Town and its calamity is going to be Scarlet Kylam, because Nomura says in the Ultimania that Daybreak Town, or Scarlet Kylam, was built upon the ruins of Daybreak Town, so we know that whatever happens to Daybreak Town, Scarlet Kylam likely comes next, and that's really interesting, and that means Xehanort comes next after that. Whoever Lushu passes down his Keyblade to, that person ends up training Xehanort and Ericus, and I really wonder who that person is. I'm pretty excited to have them reveal that. I also have my own theories coming up about that pretty soon, but I'm just really excited, man. Like, there's a lot of stuff they can cover in the Kingdom Hearts series going forward. Like, I was expecting after Kingdom Hearts 3 for it to be like, I wasn't gonna know what they were gonna cover, I didn't know what they were gonna do. What do you do after Kingdom Hearts 3, the finale to the Dark Seeker Saga? But surprisingly, there's still a lot of stuff that they can cover, a lot of new things they can start doing, and a lot of this stuff, a lot of these ideas have come about because of games like Kingdom Hearts Key, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and even Kingdom Hearts 3 like itself. Kingdom Hearts 3 did a fantastic job, a little too well of a job to be honest, in certain ways, of like preparing us, getting us excited for the next saga. And the next saga I feel like is going to be jam-packed with lore, and it's going to be really interesting. If it's anything like how the storytelling of Union Cross is for the next saga, then I'm just excited. I'm all over that. Hopefully we get that Xehanort and Ericus game in the future, but if not, I'm sure like his story will be told in some long prologue or some long segment in another Kingdom Hearts game that I'm sure would be pretty fun. I overall just want his story to be told. I don't need a game. I don't need anything super specific. Just let me listen to this man's story, and that's really all I care about. But that's going to about do it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, leave a like, share the video with a friend or a family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the Union, all you have to do is hit that red little subscribe button down below. Also, actually, leave a comment telling me like what are you most interested in regarding the next saga. Like, are you the most interested in learning more about the foretellers, the master, learning who Xehanort and Ericus's master was, Scarlet Kylum? Like, what is like the most appealing part to you about the next saga and what it might like feature? Let me know all of that in the comment section. But until then though, guys, thank you guys for watching. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.